Hey! In today's video, I'm going to show you 10 Christmas nail designs that are minimal and easy to do. Let's get started. I'm going to start off with a base coat to prep my natural nails for the polish we're going to put over top, and this helps your manicure last longer. For all of the designs in this video, I'm going to be using this one base color. It is the perfect Your Nails but Better shade, and I'm applying 2 coats of that and letting it fully dry. For this first design, you're going to need a silver glitter polish, and this one isn't super dense. It's more of a scattered glitter, and I'm applying 1 thin coat of that, and then I'm going to add these adorable silver star glitters on top of that and make sure they stick down, and then I'm just going to throw on a top coat. This is one of my favorite ways to add a Christmassy touch to any manicure. It is an adorable accent design. For the next design, I'm going to be using some rhinestones and metal studs to create a 3D decor Christmas wreath. And you can customize this any way you want. I used green rhinestones, but I think this would also look really pretty with red rhinestones. And then to add a bow to the top of the wreath, I used 2 small triangle metal studs. Finish with top coat to seal in all of the decor, and that's it. If you're looking for a more playful design, try this one. With a white nail polish, create a half circle over half of your nail and fill it in. Now grab 2 different shades of green polish and a detail brush and create triangles over top of that white half circle. These are going to be like little evergreen trees on a snowy hill. Fill them in, and you can add as many trees or as little as you'd like. Then I'm just going to add some extra little details, and I'm using a brown polish to create some tree trunks, and it wouldn't be a snowy winter wonderland without some snow. So I'm going to use that white polish again on a toothpick and add some dots on the trees and in the background for snow. For this next design, you'll need a red polish, and using it, paint your nail in half and then fill it in. Don't worry if it's not totally opaque. We'll be adding some cool texture over top. Once it's applied, allow it to fully dry. Next, I'm going to be applying some foil, and to make sure that it is adhered properly, I'm going to need a foil glue. Just apply this, and once that milky color turns clear and you no longer see it, it's ready for the foil. And the foil is only going to stick to the glue if your nail is completely dry. Seal in that foil with a water-based top coat and allow it to dry. Next, with a long liner brush and white polish or acrylic paint, create a horizontal stripe across your nail and one intersecting that line vertically. Then create 2 diagonal lines to form sort of a star or asterisk shape. And then off of the 4 main lines, create some limbs, and this is going to give you a super simple snowflake design. If you don't have foil, this design would also look really pretty with a red glitter polish. Finish with a top coat and you're set. For this next design, I'm again starting with that sheer pink polish. I'm applying 2 coats of that and letting it totally dry. Next, I'm going in with a top coat, or this is specifically a rhinestone top coat, and I applied a little blob of that to the center of my nail, and then I stuck on a red rhinestone. Beside the red rhinestone, I'm going to add 2 little black dots for eyes, and then with a tiny detail brush and brown polish, I'm going to create some antlers for a super simple, minimal Rudolph the reindeer nail design. For this next design, we're pulling that silver glitter polish back out, and I'm going to use a detail brush and roughly sketch out a triangle shape on the center of my nail. Then before that dries, I'm going to stick on some small rhinestones and some silver glitters and just fill in that shape to make it an extra sparkly triangle shape. And then of course, I'm going to add a little star to the top to make it a Christmas tree. This next design is one of my personal favorites. We're going to create another Christmas tree design. We're using a green polish, and I'm first creating 2 diagonal lines on one side of my nail, and then I'm going to connect that and fill it in to form half of a Christmas tree. And a Christmas tree isn't complete without some ornaments, so on top of that I'm going to pop on some rhinestones, but you can also use a glitter polish if you prefer. Seal in the look with a generous layer of top coat, and that's it. This next design is not only a classic look for Christmas, but it's a great winter design as well. I'm using that silver glitter polish again, and I'm applying that to half of my nail, concentrating it on the bottom half along the free edge. And then I'm going to apply some of that glitter polish to a cosmetic wedge, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze so that it soaks up the majority of that clear base that the glitter is in, and I'm going to sponge that over just the free edge of my nail to create a glitter gradient. Once that dried, I applied a layer of top coat, and that one specifically had little tiny glitters in it just to make this look even more sparkly, but you can totally skip the top coat altogether. I just like to do that to give myself a smoother surface to work with when it comes time to create a design. And here I'm going to add a snowflake over top of that and some more little dots around it, and I actually decided to put a rhinestone where one of those snowflake dots was, and it's just a really simple look. Next up, we're going to create some Christmas pudding, but on our nail. For this, I'm using a brown polish, and I first created a V as a guideline to create a half circle over the moon area of my nail, and then I filled that in. Now let's add some frosting. To create the frosting, I'm going to use a white nail polish and toothpick, and I'm first marking where I want the drips of frosting to be with the toothpick, and then with a detail brush, I just added a line and then I filled in the shapes to form the frosting. Add some garnishes to the top, and that's it. And this last nail design is inspired by another Christmas classic, candy canes. To create the candy cane, I'm using a piece of striping tape, and I applied that over my nail, just leaving a little bit of nail exposed on the side, and then I used a red polish and I filled that in. Unfortunately, the tape didn't really help because I did have to go back in and touch up the shape. And then, using my cuticle as a guide, I created a curve on top of that line and filled it in. After that red polish dried, I applied more of that foil glue, and I tried to do that process, but something went wrong and it didn't come out perfectly, but I was able to get a little bit of that foil on top of the candy cane for some added extra dimension. And then after I applied that, I popped on some white stripes and I finished with top coat. There you have 10 minimal Christmas nail designs. If you guys give any of these looks a try, I'd love to see a picture of it, and you can share that with me on any of my social media handles that I have listed below. And if you'd like to watch more videos like this, you can click on your screen here. As always, thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.